Bonjour! Nate Jackson here, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy. Number 111. 3 ones! Mon Oncle. Finally finished the first 10, season 2. Starting on the next 10, next decade, or next 10, with Jacques Tati's Mon Oncle. The second entry in the continuing adventures of Monsieur Hulot. And I gotta say, this one I'm not as crazy about as Holiday, for obvious reasons. I mean, when you see it, first of all, the length is like, a fourth, another half hour long. It's not just a bunch of like plot, a lot of like gags and jokes. There's actual like a continuing plot throughout this one. Mon Oncle is like the brother-in-law to this guy who owns a factory, and he lives with his wife and I guess Hulot's sister in this like really like modern home, and it's like a modern home, like all the modern appliances and everything's horrendously just modern. They don't open doors, they push buttons to open doors. They have like light beams and all that. It's just really cold and very, mechanical. And that's the kind of the satire that lies in the movie, but still, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me as much as Hulot, because for a number of reasons. Here's one. Well, the one big difference is that it was in color compared to Holiday. I think when you shoot it in color, it becomes more and more human, and the fantasy and the charm of it, the charm that because it's in black and the charm of Holiday, it being black and white, when you make it more real, it loses its charm and you're able to connect with it more. And I think that's just something that took me away from the film. There's more dialogue in this film than Holiday. In fact, a lot of the dialogue plays into the humor when compared. I think just before Hulot does very, 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 very rarely speaks. In fact, I think the only line I remember the true line he had, was when he was telling their neighbor a dirty joke and she didn't get it. Because he was telling, and there's a scene where they have a dinner party and he tells like these dirty jokes to this girl and she's just laughing her head off, yet when he tries to tell one to their neighbor, whom I guess they're trying to hook Hulot up with, she gets all offended and he says like, "Oh, I know a good one." He says like something like, "I know a good one," and then he tells her. That's the only time I remember like actually seeing like dialogue for him or hearing dialogue for him, apart from just maybe like grunts and stuff. So yeah, so he ends up like, and it's called Mon Oncle because it's translated from my uncle, and Gerald, he and Hulot and Gerald, his nephew, connect together. Gerald looks up to Hulot and he tries to be in his life as much as possible. And yeah, that's basically it as far as the title is concerned. But at the same time, because they call it Mon Oncle, you'd think there'd be more about Gerald and Hulot's relationship. Yet it's more about Hulot's relationship with the modern world and his family, and how the people living in the modern world, he doesn't get them. His house is like in the rundown part of town. He lives like on this this tall building on the top floor of this building. He still does his laundry like by hand, like in a clothesline and all that. So it's like a whole nother world. And so I think yeah, that's another point. With Holiday, even though he doesn't really fit in with the crowd there, a lot of the humor comes from him, and like everything like that's funny, anything funny that happens to him is a result because of how crazy he is. Whereas Mon Oncle, his humor comes from the world around him, and that's kind of that doesn't work as well with him. I think maybe now that might have been Tati's point, is to make a movie that's just has his character in this world. Whereas Holiday was to introduce, audiences to the character by showing how goofy he can be. He can be, whereas not the world around him. And yeah, that's basically all I can say about this one. Yeah, it was in color, a lot of dialogue, and yeah, the world was really cold around him, and and in a way it was very ugly. I mean, I think, this movie was made in 1958. 1958, right? Yeah. It's how many years? 56 years later, and we're still using light switches. We're still, some of us don't have, automatic cars. We don't have light sensors on for our garages and all that. I mean, some of us do. I don't think any of us have like ugly fish fountains though that we turn on when important people show up though. I think that's one thing we can all agree. So anyway, because of it, I can't rate this one as high as Holiday. I gave Holiday, I think, an A+, and it deserves it because it's a brilliant movie with a lot of great humor in it and just charm out the butt, But Mon Oncle is something different, and because of it, I'm gonna have to give it a B. It's funny. I mean, it's very, very funny, and maybe that's probably on me. I was expecting something very, very similar to Holiday, and here it is. I think my favorite gag was at the end, actually, when Hulot is trying to light his match, light his pipe, and his brother-in-law gives him the electric lighter from the car lighter, and he keeps throwing the matches out the window, and he lights his pipe, and he throws the lighter out the window. that just had me laughing. So that's it. Yeah, so B. Yeah, it's not as good as Hulot, but worth a shot. I mean, if you could stand hearing the secretary's heels clicking, clacking all over. God damn. Anyway, special features. Terry Jones introduces this one again, and he says it's probably his favorite, so that's fair enough. I know it won a lot of awards. I think it won the Cannes Film Festival for Best Comedy or something like that. And it's funny because the highlight of this is actually, I think the highlight is the short film, L'École des Facteurs, or the School for Postmen. A 1947 short film directed by and starring Jacques Tati. Jacques Tati plays this mailman, and he just gets into all kinds of crazy stunts and stuff. And I was laughing my ass off at it. I thought it was hilarious. And it was 11 years before Mon Oncle. He was just trying to be a goofball probably back then. As you get older, I guess you try to make a point with your movies. I don't know, but anyway, it was hilarious, and it was worth it just for that. So once again, yet another reason to pick up the complete Jacques Tati, which I probably will this week for the Criterion Collection Barnes & Noble sale. And it's actually funny because Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, the DVD, is a great movie with a so-so short. Yet this DVD has a so-so movie and an excellent short, a hilarious short. So, yeah, that's about the size of it. That's all we can say about Mon Oncle. Yeah, B. Like I said, B. Not bad, but it wasn't as funny as Holiday. So, anyway, B. That's it. Tomorrow, playtime. Tomorrow is playtime. So playtime is tomorrow, number 112, and then after that that completes our Jacques Tati trilogy for now. And then we'll get to a Big Deal on Madonna Street, and My Man Godfrey, Rififi, and I forget what's after that. So that'll be the next 3. It'll probably be next week. Yeah, they'll probably be next week. So anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Don't be reliant on the modern appliances because they'll make you ugly. And yeah, And don't throw car lighters out of windows. If you still have car lighters. I don't even know if cars... Some cars have car lighters. Ours doesn't. Ours just, it doesn't have just has a little plug you plug in the phone charger. So, yeah, that's about the size of it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, don't be ugly and buy modern stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow for playtime. Until then, goodbye.